Why is it that the UK is the #1 spot in the world to invest in real estate? You might not know this, but over 90% of the world's billionaires invest in real estate around the world, predominantly the UK. This makes it the #1 asset class that the world's rich invest in. But why is property and the UK so special? The first thing is the positive cash flow. It's actually quite rare around the world, but in the UK, when you're purchasing property, because of the concentration of the rental market, where the UK is a buyer's market, so over 60% of people that live in the UK, they own and occupy their property. Now this puts a real squeeze on the demand of the rest of the property in rentals, with 21% of the available stock in the UK being available for private rental and 19% for social housing. What this means is the high quality housing that's going to be somebody's home that maybe can't afford to buy is very scarce. Less than or only 1 in 5 properties represents a rental. And so what this does is the demand to rent a property is far higher than the supply. What this does is pushes it up, creating a positive cash flow. Which brings us on to number 2, which is leverage. So this comes in 2 parts. Part A is the fact that the loan to value is better than most of the rest of the world. We only need to put in 25% deposit. Now there are other countries where actually you need to put lower amounts, but we found this to be a real safe amount where you're only putting in 25% and they're getting 75% in debt in terms of a mortgage. Part B is the fact it's interest only. So a lot of the rest of the world, it has to be capital repayment. Now the reason why we're okay with interest only, i.e. we're not needing to pay off any of the actual loan or the capital of the loan throughout the entire period of the loan, is because of number 3, capital growth. So capital growth or capital appreciation is the value of the property going up over time. Now, if you look at the Doomsday Book at 1086 all the way to now, on average property prices have doubled every 10 years. There's not a 10-year period ever where a property price has gone down in the UK. Now I'm not saying that's going to be forever, but 1,000 years of evidence is a pretty good indication. And this is where history really comes into it and why property in the UK is so special. History coming in 2 forms. Number 1, property. Property investment goes back to the Roman era as buy-to-let property, and the UK has one of the longest standing histories in property in the world. Now why is that important? Because of evidence. Now there's a lot of new markets. If you look at America's not even existed as it is for many years in the grand scheme of things, and so even when you look at concentrated cities like New York, it's a very young city, whereas the UK obviously hundreds if not thousands of years of evidence. On top of that, the UK banking system. Now if you're local to the UK, a lot of people hate bankers and things like that, but ultimately the UK banking system is one of the oldest, it has the most heritage, and is one of the safest in the world, which is why people from all over plow billions every single year, not only in London but other major cities such as Manchester and Leeds as well. The final one I want to talk about is Forex, foreign exchange, or the arbitrage of the currencies. Now in the last year or so, or actually really the last 5 years, the Great British pound hasn't been as strong as it once was. You know, I remember the days where £1 was $2, and gone all the days. Will they come back? Who knows? But with all of the fluctuations, what happens, especially in the last sort of 6 to 12 months, is the pound has got weaker, but property values have still gone up. What this means for people that are pegged to the dollar, for example, is if the pound drops, somebody is able to buy the same real estate, the same property that you or I are able to buy, but actually actually they're getting a discount. People buying from Singapore, Hong Kong, or even the US, they are buying at a heavy discount and they're plowing money out of their country into the UK. The final thing is because the property in the UK or the real estate market in the UK has so much history behind it, there's a lot of diversity in the strategies that we can apply. So those are the main fundamentals, the macroeconomics, if you like, of the real estate market in the UK. And hey, if you're watching this and you are a foreign investor or indeed a local investor, but maybe you don't have the time or experience to invest in this, then that's where we come in. We help people all around the world build real estate portfolios in the UK. And if you've got 100,000 or more and you want us to do it for you, you can comment APG in the comments, or we'll leave a link in the description so you can get in touch. If you got value from this video, it would help out tremendously if you just tap the like button to help the YouTube algorithm. And of course, if you're new to the channel, you want to find out more about property investment and real estate investment in the UK, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe and the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.